من سلك طريقا يلتمس به علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is your host MAHMOOD, a teaching assistant in the University of Zawiya. So today we're going to talk about growth adaptations. What is growth adaptation? Well, they are reversible changes in the size, number, phenotype, metabolic activity or function. So when you go through some sort of physiologic stress or pathologic stress, your cells will go through some sort of adaptations. These adaptations include hyperplasia, hypertrophy, atrophy, and metaplasia. Today we're going to talk about only hyperplasia and hypertrophy. So if you were going to go talk about hyperplasia, we have to know something about physiologic stress. So we have to take a step back. Physiologic stress is the stress that your organ confront while it is doing its own job. So let's talk about the heart like an example. The heart will push the blood out so it could reach all your body organs. So this job that your heart is doing, it is what's called physiologic stress. So if you are going to talk about hyperplasia and hypertrophy, it is when your body or your organ has more stress than usual. So let's suppose that your heart or any other organ in your body has a stress more than usual. So it will go from this size, this is your heart or this is your kidney or even liver, will go from this size to this size, from small to big, because the pressure, or let's say the stress, increases from being usual to being unusually high. So what's lead this organ from being this size to this size? What really goes there is increasing the cell number. So the cell number will increase and also the cell size will increase. So this is the cell number and the size also will increase. What drives a cell from being this size to this size? There are two mechanisms for the cell to go from this size to this size. The first mechanism is that the cell has what is known as cytoskeleton, which is made predominantly from protein. The cytoskeleton keeps the cell size and the shape. So for the cell to go from this size to this size, it has to produce more cytoskeleton. This is cytoskeleton. It has to produce more cytoskeleton, which is, as I said, made predominantly from protein. So it will activate some genes to produce more proteins so we can make cytoskeleton. The second thing for the cell to go from this size to this size, it has to increase the number of the organelles. Like mitochondria, for example, it has to increase the number from mitochondria. It will need more ATP, more energy, so it has to make more mitochondria. After we understand the mechanism of which or by which the cell go from this size to this size, we have to know that increasing the cell size is known as hypertrophy. This is hypertrophy. So hypertrophy is increasing the cell size from being normal to being big. The other type of growth adaptation is hyperplasia. Guess what is hyperplasia? Is hyperplasia increasing the cell size from this size to this size? No, hyperplasia is increasing the cell number. The cell will go from this one cell to multiple cells. So the organ itself, the whole organ will go from this size to this size by two mechanisms. One mechanism is hypertrophy and the other is hyperplasia. The cell will go from one cell to multiple cells. And for the organ to have hyperplasia, it has to have a stem cell. It is pretty straightforward. You have to have a stem cell to increase the cell number. If you don't have a stem cell like myocytes, the cells of your heart, you will not go through hyperplasia. So for the organ like liver, as I told previously, for the liver to go through hyperplasia, it has to have its own stem cell. If the organ doesn't have a stem cell, it will not go through hyperplasia. And we've got three types of cells that does not have stem cell, like myocytes, your heart cells, and also your nerve cells. Your nerve cell and heart cell will not or will never go through hyperplasia. I mean, to increase the cell number. That is because your myocytes doesn't have no stem cell, also your nerve cell. And this is in short hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Hope you understand what I was explaining. If you have any question, you can write your question down below and I will go straight up to answer your question.